In the deepest, most hidden corners, where eternal cold grips the icy expanses and impenetrable darkness reigns in the underwater abysses, lie dormant mysteries capable of fundamentally altering our understanding of the past. There, hidden, are not just ruins, but also active bases, evidence of a civilization that predates humanity by millions of years. These traces, carefully concealed from prying eyes, continue to secretly influence the fate of our planet. This story stirs the imagination of truth seekers, making them question familiar postulates and seek answers where, it would seem, only the silence of ice and the water's depths hold sway. The genesis of this enigma begins with assumptions born of strange anomalies discovered in the most remote corners of the globe. Peculiar geophysical signals, registered deep beneath the Antarctic ice, puzzled scientists. Unusual structures revealed by radars and satellite images defied ordinary explanation. They were not merely geological formations, but resembled artificial structures buried under layers of ice reaching hundreds of meters. This captivating story also introduces underwater canyons hidden from human sight. In them, at immense depths, anomalies were discovered, indicating the presence of objects that were not natural formations. Regular geometric shapes, remnants of something difficult to classify or explain. These objects held a secret, sparking the curiosity of investigators and prompting them to ponder the potential existence of a civilization that had preceded our own by many millions of years. These weren't merely geological quirks, but compelling evidence of intelligent beings leaving their mark in the most remote corners of our planet. Official science, cautious in its conclusions, preferred to explain such phenomena through natural processes, unwilling to venture beyond the familiar. Yet enthusiasts and lone researchers, devoted to their purpose, never ceased in their attempts to penetrate the mysteries hidden beneath the thick ice cover and cold waters. Their efforts, often ignored or even ridiculed, nevertheless yielded fresh evidence, challenging conventional understandings. The first stirrings of interest in this enigmatic topic emerged during the Cold War, when two opposing forces, the United States of America and the Soviet Union, conducted active research in the harsh Antarctic. Intelligence, including scientific endeavors, was an integral part of this large-scale struggle for influence and dominance. Unofficially, but with a high degree of certainty, it's known that both sides were aware of strange occurrences beneath the ice sheet. At first, it was thought these might be secret enemy bases, Soviet or American, but it soon became clear that something far more vast and unknown was at play. Within the framework of secret programs funded by various governments, meticulously planned and highly classified experiments were underway, designed to unravel the mysteries hidden beneath the thick layers of polar ice. Specialized teams were assembled, composed of talented scientists, experienced engineers, and courageous military personnel, all tasked with studying the anomalies discovered, recording any peculiarities, and striving to understand their nature, to decipher all the enigmas concealed within this silent yet promising world. These investigations were shrouded in the strictest secrecy, with the results known only to a very select group of individuals. One of the key moments in this mysterious tale was the discovery of unusual artifacts, raised from the ocean floor or extracted from beneath the ice. Descriptions of these artifacts varied depending on the source, but the overall picture pointed to the existence of technologies far exceeding our modern understanding. These could have been metallic alloys capable of withstanding extreme temperatures and pressure, devices generating energy from unknown sources, or even mechanisms allowing travel through space and time. Some sources also mentioned contacts with representatives of a supposed ancient civilization. Naturally, these contacts took place under conditions of strict secrecy, and information about them was meticulously filtered. However, according to this data, the ancient inhabitants of Earth possessed knowledge and technologies inaccessible to modern humanity. According to some reports, they even warned us of impending global cataclysms related to climate change and the depletion of natural resources. Regarding underwater bases, the situation became even more enigmatic. Mentions of them surfaced in various sources, ranging from UFO enthusiast communities to the most outlandish conspiracy theories. It's speculated that these bases serve as sanctuaries for members of an ancient civilization who have withdrawn from human affairs, secretly observing the development of humankind. Rumor has it, some even believe that these bases are command centers, controlling events on Earth, like an unseen hand pulling the strings of history. The main challenge for investigators daring to uncover the secrets hidden beneath the ice and water is an impenetrable veil of secrecy and a lack of access to information. Governments and special services, seemingly united by a common goal, exert Herculean efforts to conceal data about discovered anomalies, mysterious artifacts, and possible contact with representatives of the ancient civilization. Even the most tentative, attempts to enter secret zones or access classified information are strictly suppressed, as if hitting an invisible but insurmountable wall. How to explain such a persistent desire for concealment? The most common explanation is the fear of panic and, consequently, a loss of control. If humanity were to suddenly learn about the existence of an ancient civilization with technologies far surpassing our own, it could lead to the most serious social upheavals. People deeply shaken might lose faith in existing institutions, in established orders, and begin to seek answers to questions that challenge the very existence of the familiar world. Another version, no less weighty, is tied to economic interests, which, as we know, often take center stage. Possessing the technologies of an ancient civilization promises enormous benefits, opening access to unprecedented sources of energy, materials, and methods of production. Governments and corporations, having obtained the coveted technology, might try to monopolize it, subjugating all resources and opportunities. A third version, perhaps the most alarming, inspires fear of a potential threat emanating from the ancient civilization itself. If the ancient inhabitants of Earth possessed a secret weapon capable of wiping humanity off the face of the planet, then the disclosure of such information threatens panic and unpredictable destabilization. In this case, concealing information becomes a forced measure aimed at ensuring security, even at the cost of losing freedom and the right to truth. One of the most famous examples related to this mysterious topic is the story of an expedition codenamed Operation Highjump, undertaken by the United States of America in Antarctica in 1946 to 1947. Although the official goal of the operation was to study the icy continent, many researchers suspect hidden motives rooted in secret knowledge. As part of the operation, thousands of servicemen, dozens of ships, many aircraft, and the most modern equipment at that time were involved. However, just a few months after it began, this massive and costly operation was abruptly halted. The official explanation cited harsh weather conditions, along with losses in personnel and equipment, yet questions lingered. Many believe the real reason lay in an encounter with an unknown force, perhaps remnants of an ancient civilization or their advanced technologies. This story spawned countless speculations and rumors, constantly gaining new details and hypotheses. Some insist the American military stumbled upon an entrance to a mysterious underground world, connected to a civilization vanished millennia ago. Others are convinced they encountered a weapon capable of obliterating entire cities in a single strike. Still others maintain the expedition fell victim to an attack by unidentified flying objects, whose motives and goals remain a puzzle. Further evidence, though indirect, comes from anomalies captured in satellite images, obtained through the Landsat program and other research projects. Analysis of these images reveals the presence, beneath the Antarctic ice, of objects whose nature cannot be explained by natural causes. Perhaps these are the remains of ancient cities, built by unknown architects, or artificial structures intended for completely different purposes. Or perhaps they're entire transportation systems, connecting various points on the continent like a gigantic network hidden beneath the ice. One of the most intriguing aspects of this topic remains the dating of the discovered objects. How can one determine the age of a civilization that may have existed millions of years ago, outpacing time and leaving us only riddles? Modern dating methods come to the rescue here, such as radiocarbon analysis, the uranium-lead method, and many others. Yet even these methods are not without flaws, especially when dealing with objects buried under the ice. Moreover, some researchers hypothesize that the ancient civilization possessed technologies that allowed them to manipulate time and space. If this is true, any attempts to establish the precise age of artifacts may prove futile, as the timelines could be distorted or even altered entirely. Attempts to unravel the mystery of the ancient civilization give rise to many scientific theories. Some scientists believe that the ancient inhabitants of Earth were connected to extraterrestrial civilizations that visited our planet long before the appearance of humankind. Others are convinced that this civilization originated on Earth, but possessed incredible technologies that allowed it to survive in conditions seemingly completely incompatible with life. One of the most prevalent theories suggests that ancient Earth was once home to an extraordinarily advanced race. They reached their zenith but vanished, or went underground, for reasons yet unknown. Global catastrophes, devastating wars, or epidemics might have erased their civilization, burying its traces beneath thick ice or concealing them in the ocean's depths. Theories also exist that involve the concept of parallel worlds and hidden realities, adding even more riddles to this amazing tale. According to these theories, the ancient civilization may have existed in a parallel world or dimension connected to ours, but later became severed from it. These bold hypotheses undoubtedly spark heated debates in the scientific community, but they, in turn, do not exclude the possibility of other life forms and civilizations unlike our own. Particular attention is given to this forgotten civilization's influence on modern humanity. Some researchers believe that the ancient inhabitants of Earth left us not only advanced technologies, but also genetic material and hidden knowledge, possibly to be activated in the future. There are suggestions that we see echoes of ancient civilizations' activity in mysterious structures, like pyramids, Stonehenge, and other ancient monuments scattered across the world. These monumental structures may have been erected not only for religious or ceremonial purposes, but also for transmitting information, establishing connections with other worlds, or even controlling the climate, as evidenced by discovered artifacts. Some believe that secret organizations and influential people at the helm of world politics and the economy are well aware of this ancient civilization's existence and skillfully use this information for their own purposes. They might harness the technology of ancient Earth dwellers to further their aims, consolidate their power, and tighten their grip on the populace. Yet a multitude of questions lingers, still unanswered. Who were these people? Who crafted the enigmatic objects hidden beneath layers of ice and beneath the waves? Were they beings with knowledge far surpassing our own? Or is their legacy merely a mirage born of imagination? What technologies did they command? What drove them to fade into the shadows, to vanish from sight? And how did they view modern humanity? One of the most captivating enigmas concerns purported contacts with representatives of the ancient civilization. Many claim to have encountered beings, human in appearance, but endowed with astounding abilities and knowledge. These encounters usually happen in secluded spots, hidden from prying eyes, or in altered states of consciousness, when the veil between worlds appears to thin. It must be admitted that the vast majority of such claims lack a scientific basis and belong to the realms of ufology and conspiracy theories. However, we can't discount the possibility that real experiences lie behind these stories, experiences that modern science can't yet explain. Perhaps numerous unsolved mysteries are hidden from us, veiled by time and secrets waiting to be uncovered. In conclusion, the mystery of the ancient civilization buried beneath ice and water continues to stir imaginations. Despite the tireless searches of researchers and enthusiasts, most information remains sealed, and the scientific community is, for the most part, skeptical about this topic. But who knows what discoveries await us in the future, over the horizon, when we can peer into the past and unravel all these secrets. However, interest in this topic doesn't wane. On the contrary, it's flaring up with renewed vigor. More and more people are eagerly delving into the depths of ancient history, seeking answers to the enigmas of bygone eras. New, ambitious research projects are emerging, focused on studying anomalies discovered in the harsh ice of Antarctica and the mysterious depths of the oceans. Time might pass, perhaps years, maybe even decades, before we gather enough information to even begin to approach an understanding. Yet hope endures, fueling the insatiable thirst for knowledge that defines humanity. Perhaps someday we'll grasp who we are, where we originated, and what role we play in this vast, unfathomable universe. The tale of an ancient civilization, mysteriously veiled beneath layers of ice and water, is more than a story of the past. It's a story of an eternal quest for truth, a passionate yearning for knowledge, and an unwavering belief that answers to questions that have tormented humankind for many centuries lie hidden within the depths of what was. Maybe one day, the veil of mystery will lift, and we'll glimpse the truth about this enigmatic civilization, which might still subtly influence our lives. But even if that doesn't happen, the pursuit of knowledge and the hunger for truth will forever remain the perpetual engine of progress, an inspiration for millions, for generations to come.